Leinster, a third Pro 14 title in a row, 27 points to 5. This game started off with a bit of a hiss and a roar, and it kind of settled into a familiar pattern. By the end, I'll go through some of the key events and the key stats. But ultimately, if you want to keep it short, congratulations, Leinster. The unbeaten run goes on. Ulster, commiserations. But yeah, Leinster are going to be a tough team to beat. There was one lead change in this match because Ulster started off the try scoring within like 4 minutes. The forwards kind of drew some of the Leinster defenders in. Hume got the ball, and that was one of the best runs of the game. I think he finished with like 6 defenders beaten. Half of them would have been for his try. And yeah, great way to beat a man and find some space. Great try early. They missed the conversion, so it's 5-0 to Ulster. You're thinking, man, Ulster can get out to a lead, hold it for a little while. You never know. Put a bit of pressure on Leinster, make them chase the game. They got a new captain in Ringrose. Didn't take long. Didn't take long to kind of get Leinster back to their regular service. James Lowe on 12 minutes on the left wing. They've gone through a bunch of phases, a huge period of pressure. Jamieson Gibson Park's pass is the one that really makes it, and great conversion from Ross Byrne. 7 points to 5. That is the one and only lead change of this game. From then on, it was all Leinster. Leinster went close, but their line out in the first half was shocking. It was abysmal, man. Like, hard to believe they were that bad. They had a line out 6 meters out from Ulster's line. They couldn't grab their own line out ball. Ulster went down the other end with the offloads galore for one little phase. And I felt like that's probably how Ulster needed to play. They needed to just play crazy. They needed to just offload from everywhere and just try to somehow beat the Leinster defence, but it was too much, at least for mine, just like busting it up through the forwards or just throwing it to the first guy outside the ruck, first receiver kind of thing. It's never going to work, man. Leinster just gobble that stuff up all day long, and they did, man. But when they did offload and just try to play with pace and unstructured, I mean, you can call it an unstructured structure, but like, not having a set play as to who you're going to offload it to, just offloading to the nearest man, kind of like how the Chiefs play in Super Rugby. It's still a structure. That's when I thought they looked the most dangerous, but there probably wasn't enough of it. Leinster were just getting turnovers at the breakdown, like for fun. Honestly, man, at the breakdown they were just lethal. Leinster take the 3 on 25 minutes. They'd won about 2 penalties in the build up to that, and both sides, both times before, not taking the 3, but the third one was right out in front. They probably could have kept playing for the corners to try and maybe get one of the Ulster guys yellow carded, but 3 right out in front. It's a final. They take it as 10-5. 37 minutes, Ulster turned down 3 because they obviously want to score a try. You think you're not going to beat Leinster in 3s. They maybe should have taken the 3 based on how Leinster's defence was going. Burns' pass, Billy Burns, pass to, I think it was Hume. He passes it to his ankles, and it's a knock on, so it's a big let off. It goes into half time. It's still tight, man. 5 points. It's anybody's game, but apart from that early try, Leinster's defence had looked pretty rock solid. Half time, run meters 85 to 169, so Ulster got more of the running, and they got more of the possession with 56%. But you look at the territory, Leinster is still controlling the game with 55% of that. Their line out, though, is 5 from 9, Leinster, which is pretty shocking, whereas Ulster at 100%, 5 from 5. But tackling percentage, both sides are in the 90s, actually. 91% Leinster, 95% Ulster have had to make more, 97 to Leinster's 86. Penalties conceded is becoming a problem for Ulster. Double the amount, 8 to Leinster's 4. And a lot of those at the breakdown, like I mentioned. Like, how many times in the first half did you just see that bloody flying red headgear of Josh van der Fleer? He was putting them under huge pressure as well. Second half, Ross Byrne kicks a penalty on 44 minutes to make it 13-5. And then like a minute or two later, Henshaw probably puts a nail in the coffin, really. He picks off, it's another pass from Billy Burns. He picks that one off, easy intercept for him. He read it like a book. And puts them another try in front. So it's 20 points. 20 points to 5. And at 15 points behind, I know they came back from 12 last week against Edinburgh. But it's looking like a pretty tough prospect, and sure enough, it proved to be. There was a massive bit of Leinster pressure, though, kind of after that try, and it looked like for a moment maybe Ulster were going to kind of down tools and Leinster were going to run away with it, but it never quite happened. Kind of, you got to give credit to Ulster in that regard. Like, you're 15 points behind, you're away from home against a team which hasn't been beaten in like 25 games or something. But they didn't stop playing. They still managed to hang on as best they could. Ulster had a good period of pressure, like just before the hour mark. Madigan and Cooney had come on. But, they got penalised. Eventually, Caelan Doris gets the final try of the game on 71 minutes. He bursts over from pretty close range. And, it's just all a bit too much. 27 points to 5. Like I said, Ulster never really opened the floodgates, but they just couldn't crack Leinster's defence. They did look sharp at times, Ulster, but not enough over the course of the game. The game finishes run meters 300 to 268. So remember, Leinster were behind at half time in terms of run meters. They managed to do it pretty easily. They were managing to find a bit more space, especially in that second half. Possession, it still finishes with Ulster more, and actually Ulster finished with more territory, 55% of that. But you look, clean breaks, 4-2 in favour of Leinster. Defenders beaten 16-13 in favour of Leinster. Turnovers conceded. Ulster conceded 7 to Leinster's 4, so they were getting turned over. Offloads was 8-5. I would have liked to see more from Ulster. I know it's a final. Maybe you don't want to play loose, but I honestly feel like playing the way they did at times seemed to be a bit into Leinster's hands. The line-out for Leinster got better in the second half. I think they were 6 from 6 in the second half. The line-outs there still don't look great, like 11 from 15, but certainly better than that first half. 11 from 12 for Ulster. Tackling percentages, both sides finished with 92, which is pretty respectable. But like Henshaw's try, there's not a missed tackle on that one because he just goes clean through. So it's sometimes a bit misleading. 170 tackles by Leinster, 185 by Ulster. So a lot of kind of energy sapping tackling to be done. Penalties conceded finished 15-10 with Ulster conceding more. So you can't be conceding more penalties, more turnovers, giving more clean breaks, letting more defenders through. It's just hard work, man. Leinster are just too good. I want to see them play the Crusaders. I mean, that's third title in a row. The Crusaders had 3 Super Rugby titles plus a Super Rugby Aotearoa title. Man, how good would it be to watch those two teams go up against each other? That being said, Leinster has still got the Champions Cup to play. And you got to say, the celebrations for this one were a bit muted. At full time, the Leinster guys weren't exactly bouncing off the walls. Somebody in the live stream said, bigger fish to fry. Might be right, man. 3 in a row, I guess it's just par for the course now, eh? Van der Fleer got man of the match. He had 9 from 9 tackles. Doris had 19 out of 19. Headshaw had 16 out of 16. But Van der Fleer was just everywhere, man. It's like I said, that distinctive red headgear has made him very, very easy to spot. McCloskey had 53 run meters. Hume had like 6 defenders beaten, but in the end of the day, it was not enough. Like I said, third title in a row. They are the business. Leinster, what can you say? Very, very, very good team. So congratulations. Ulster, just not enough at the end of the day. Well done for making the final. Hell of a performance last week against Edinburgh. Couldn't repeat those kind of second half heroics, but there's certainly no shame in losing to Leinster, man. They are one hell of a side. Yeah, there's still Champions Cup for both these teams to play for, so there's still some silverware up for grabs. We'll see how these teams go in that competition. But yeah, that's the end of the Pro 14 2019-2020 season. Delayed as the end was, the 2020-2021 season is not too far away without the South African teams for now. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, as I said, congratulations to Leinster. Hell of a result. You guys are a bloody hard team to beat. Yeah, what else can you say? You guys let me know your thoughts on the game. And I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.